We are at the 40% mark in the MLS. Welcome on in, folks, to your Inter Miami Radio Network. It is almost that time, folks. We're under 20 days until the World Cup, and we have our final fixture until the 2026 World Cup, which will be held here in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and all across North America. But welcome on into your Inter Miami Radio Network. We have our Inter Miami Herons hosting the Philadelphia Union here at New Stadium. My OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, is to my left. Our frequency coordinator, Paul Adams, is here as well. And back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach is our good guy, Cade Chumsland, and I am the voice of the Inter Miami Herons, Mike Rizzo. Well, the Herons, and specifically Lionel Messi, have been on fire as of late. The Herons have won 3 straight MLS fixtures in a row. And in 4 games, now Inter Miami's won 3 in a row, but if we date back to that godforsaken Orlando game, in 4 games, Lionel Messi has 5 goals and 5 assists. That's 10 goal contributions across those games. And to take it a step further, in Lionel Messi's last 12 games in all competitions, he has 17 goal contributions. So the back-to-back MLS MVP, Lionel Messi, looked like he might make it a three-peat this year because he's only 1 goal off of the Golden Boot race, and he leads the MLS in goal contributions. So a big, big night for Lionel Messi probably looming. But if Inter Miami wins tonight, they will make it 4 straight as they enter the World Cup break. We have starting lineups. Inter Miami going with a 4-3-3 with their gaffer, Guillermo Hoyos. From left to right, your back line, Sergio Reguilon, Mikael, Gonzalo Luan, and Ian Frey. Between the posts tonight for Inter Miami is Dane St. Clair. The midfield, Talasco Segovia, Yannick Bright, and Rodrigo De Paul. And then the 3 attackers up top, Herman Berterame, Luis Suárez, and Lionel Messi. Coming off the bench tonight for Inter Miami, you're going to have Facundo Mora, David Aishala, Matteo Silvetti, Noah Allen, Rocco Rios Nova will do the backup goalkeeping, Maxi Falcone, Davi Ruiz, Daniel Pinter, and Preston Plambeck. As far as Philadelphia, they're in the cellar, folks. 15th. They are on pace for one of the worst seasons in MLS history. We'll get more on them in a second, but quickly, their starting lineup: Francis Westfield, Gainer Martinez, Nathan Harriel, Ben Bender. That's the back line in a 4-4-2. The midfielders: Agustin Anello, Danley Jean-Jacques, Jovan Lukic, and Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan, by the way, the youngest player in North American professional sports history to make a debut. He's 14 years old back in 2024. He is promised to Manchester City when he turns 18. One of the bright stars within the United States Wonder Kids. That is Kevin Sullivan. More on him after the break. And then up top, there's a dual strike partnership between Milan Iloski and Bruno Damiani. Let's take our first time out of our Inter Miami Radio Network. Once again, Inter Miami hosting the Philadelphia Union. The final game until the 2026 World Cup break is coming up next on your Inter Miami Radio Network.
If you love soccer, let Tri-Rail be your connection to Inter Miami CF games at Miami Freedom Park. Take the train to skip traffic and parking. Just an easy ride to the match. And the stadium is just steps away from Tri-Rail's Miami Airport Station. Plus, return service makes getting home simple after the final whistle. Weekend round-trip fares are just $5. Plan your ride at tri-rail.com, tri-rail.com.
Picture this: a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, Ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Irv, you watching the game?
Watching? I'm all over these live bets on the Hard Rock Bet app right now. Brother, I'm in the game. That's a quick winner. Si se puede, si se puede, si se
Live
puede.
betting on Hard Rock Bet makes any game worth celebrating.
Si se.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start live betting today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Now let's get to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Both teams lining up for their pictures, their pregame pictures before the match with starting lineups. Welcome back to your Inter Miami Radio Network. I am the voice of the Inter Miami Herons, Mike Rizzo. We are almost underway here at New Stadium. Inter Miami hosting the Philadelphia Union, the final matchup until the World Cup break. Inter Miami has scored 15 goals in 5 matches. They're absolutely on fire. Now the issue is, though, they have been leaking some goals. But Inter Miami certainly doing well in the goal-scoring department and with Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi, 5 goals, 5 assists in his last 4 games. Inter Miami is on a 3-game win streak. And if they win tonight, they'll ride a 4-game win streak into the World Cup. And I'm at your mercy, folks. It's 15 goals in 4 matches. 15 goals in 4 matches. So Inter Miami, once again, in form. The only opponent, by the way, Lionel Messi, has scored a goal in all 4 of his career matches versus Philadelphia in all competitions. That's 5 goals, 1 of 4 teams he has scored in each of his first 4 matches against. And to go further back into Lionel Messi's career, Leo has scored a goal, the opponent, the only other opponent Messi scored in each of his first 5 matches against was Eibar. And folks, if you remember, Eibar was in La Liga until the 2020-2021 season where they got relegated. But from 2014 to 2017, Lionel Messi scored in each of his first 5 matches against Eibar back in La Liga. Prior to Lionel Messi's arrival, the Philadelphia Union had only lost 2 of 8 matches against Inter Miami. They compiled 4 wins and 2 draws before the great one came here. Now, quickly on Philadelphia, they are the bottom feeders of the Eastern Conference. The last game out, they drew the Columbus Crew with an equalizer in the 70th minute from Milan Iloski. But the story with them, in my opinion, is Kevin Sullivan. He is universally considered a global wonder kid for the United States, who's already locked into a future transfer to Europe with Manchester City. Once he turns 18 years old, folks, he will be joining Manchester City. Now, City could send him out on a loan or whatever, but he will be a part of Manchester City when he turns 18. And personally, folks, as a massive United States men's national team fan, this is a player I think that we will be very, very proud of once things are all said and done. We are underway here at New Stadium. Once again, Inter Miami with a 4-3-3. Reguilon, Mikael, Luan Frey, Segovia, Bright, DePaul, Berterame, Suárez, Messi, St. Clair between the sticks. Inter Miami's got it quickly near side touchline. Now they track back to Dane St. Clair. A 4-4-2 for Philadelphia. Westerfield, Martinez, Harriel, and Bender is their back line. Andre Blake, the 35-year-old Jamaican veteran, in net. Sullivan, Lukic, Jean-Jacques, Anello, the midfield, as Philadelphia trying to track a dangerous ball there in the box. A cross in and a big-time clearance by Reguilon. I can't even get through the starting lineup. We got a corner kick presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. Folks, for 40 years, Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath has had our backs here in South Florida. Visit foryourrights.com. Those are the guys that have your backs, folks. Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. Main offices in Palm Beach Gardens. Visit foryourrights.com if you need some representation. But that was a good ball as Milan Iloski got to it in the box, made a dangerous cross in, but Reguilon able to sweep it away and clear it up. So corner incoming. 1 minute, 20 seconds into the game. Going to be a right foot outswinger from the left side. Corner taken, back stick, cleared away by Berterame. Running toward it is Zanello, and that one will roll out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in on the far side touchline for Philadelphia. But once again, Westerfield, Martinez, Harriel, Bender, the back line, Andre Blake in net for Philly. Kevin Sullivan, the wonder kid. Lukic, Jean-Jacques, and Anello in the midfield, and a dual strike partnership between Iloski and Damiani. Iloski scored that 70th minute as a header almost gets on target, and that one rolls behind Dane St. Clair's post. Going to be a goal kick, but Milan Iloski equalized in the 70th minute, their last fixture against the Columbus Crew. Some bad press, too, surrounding the Union. Jim Curtin, their longtime manager, was dismissed following a poor start to the season. Bradley Carnell is now the interim manager, but worse than that, the front office man was, that is Ernest Tanner, is on leave amid a misconduct investigation. And on top of that, the club is on its way to one of the most horrific finishes in MLS history, with only 7 points on the table at this point. But they are pitter-pattering around the box, shot at a goal. Oh my goodness. All that talk, they hear it because Milan Iloski is in the back of the net in the 3rd minute. So a 3rd minute goal for Philadelphia. They were probing outside of the Inter Miami box. I'm trying to set the scene here at the game, and they're in the back of the net. That was a good pass by Kevin Sullivan, and then it was a header pass in the box, getting a head on that. Let's see here. Was Westerfield, and then Milan Iloski scores his 2nd goal in 2 games. That is 1-0 early here at New Stadium. Ian Frey and Dane St. Clair both tried their best to get in front of that, but it was a great header pass leading to Iloski's foot. But even though it's been a disastrous season, I mean disastrous for Philadelphia, they're up 1-0 here in Miami. Ian Frey on it near side touchline. Now Rodrigo DePaul. DePaul plays it quickly up to Berterame. Tracking back for this one is Gaynor Martinez. That one rolls past goalkeeper Andre Blake's line, and we are going to have a goal kick here in the 4th minute. 4 minutes played, 1-0. Philadelphia on top of Miami. A Milan Iloski goal in the 3rd minute. But setting up that nice, I guess, header assist from Westerfield to Iloski. It was a good pass into the box by Cabin Sullivan, the United States wonder kid. It'll be a throw-in near side touchline. Philadelphia once again trying to go quickly up the field to Iloski. And now Inter Miami's going to probe onto their defense. This is Luan. Some other news for Inter Miami. Casemiro. That signing, possible signing, looking good as Inter Miami trying to play a through ball into Herman Berterame. Luis Suárez had a through ball, an aerial through ball from the far side touchline, but Andre Blake able to grasp it. Philadelphia now on it in their own territory. Inter Miami slapping on a press. They won the ball on the near side touchline. Now here's Messi. A push from the back by Harriel and a foul. Head referee tonight, folks, is Rosendo Mendoza. He blows his whistle. Going to be a free kick for Inter Miami. This is the 2nd game Mendoza has called this season for the Herons. But Fabrizio Romano, the top world football reporter, is now Cabin Sullivan winning a ball, and now he gets bullied off of the ball by Mikael. The young 16-year-old was almost in on goal there, but Mikael able to clear that out. And as I'm saying with Casemiro, it's looking good for a possible signing. According to Fabrizio Romano, now in a dangerous spot is our Herons. Play the ball into Berterame! And a save by Andre Blake. Berterame was one-on-one. A nice pass from Segovia, but Blake came off of his line at the perfect time. On it now for Philadelphia is Bender. Bender to Damiani. Once again, a dual strike partnership, Iloski and Damiani. Near side touchline, Bender. Now won by Inter Miami. Ball in, Lionel Messi trying to track for it. But Nathan Harriel wins it in the box. Messi almost made a nifty move past Harriel. He let that ball roll for a bit, tried to fake him out. Is now Philadelphia on the counter. Running with it is Anello. Agustin Anello goes to ground, no whistle. And Inter Miami wins the ball, but on the floor is Gonzalo Luan. And now head referee Rosendo Mendoza blows his whistle to stop play. Taking a look here at the opportunity that Berterame almost had. Segovia just led that pass a hair in front of Berterame. Berterame was tracking it in the box. Blake came off of his line and made the save. 7 minutes have gone by here at Newbank Stadium in Miami. Philadelphia up 1-0. I am Mike Rizzo, voice of the Inter Miami Herons. To my left, both of them, my OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, and our frequency coordinator, Paul Adams. Kate Chumsland back at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Play resumed. Inter Miami went quickly to Frey. This one rolls out of bounds. Him and Anello doing battle on the near side touchline. And Philly won the throw in, and they go quick. Still on that near side touchline. 2-man 2-ball between Bender and Anello. Now in the midfield is Jovan Lukic. He'll track it back to Andre Blake. Blake will boot it out of his box to the far side touchline. Then Westerfield. Westerfield plays the ball up top. St. Clair off his line. It's chipped over St. Clair. Iloski flips over St. Clair. And now the ball will roll behind St. Clair's line. Unbelievable. So Dane came off of his line. We might have a possible penalty here. St. Clair came off of his line, decleated. Iloski, he did a front flip. Oh my goodness. Head referee Rosendo Mendoza having a conversation with the lines judge, but Iloski has the ball thinking he's getting a penalty. Now a possible offsides by Iloski, VAR checking, but Dane St. Clair came off of his line to play the ball. Iloski kicked the ball over St. Clair, and then that's when St. Clair sent him aerial. In the 9th minute, we have a spot kick. Iloski's going to have a penalty kick with Nate St. Clair. What a turn of events here in the first half. It's already 1-0 Philadelphia. This is a team with 1 win this season. 7 points on the table. They're on their way to go up 2-0. Can St. Clair come up huge? Iloski approaches shot. Goal! It's 2-0. Philadelphia flying in the first half. Unbelievable stuff. It was a good ball by Westerfield once again to set the scene. Westerfield with a brilliant ball from that far side touchline. Iloski tracked it perfectly. He kicked it. It was one-on-one with St. Clair. St. Clair came off of his line, folks. He was right to the left of the penalty arc and on the line at the tip of the penalty box. Iloski kicked it over his head, and then Dane sent him aerial. Front flip. Penalty. A team who is in dead last. They don't have a prayer. 7 points on the table, and they're up 2-0 against our Herons. Iloski on a brace as we resume play on our Inter Miami radio network. Our Herons got work to do. Got to clean a couple of things up defensively as well. Philadelphia been out on the break a little too often. Mikael now on it in his own territory. Inter Miami trying to figure out some offense. 11 minutes, 2-0 Philly. Iloski now 3 goals in 2 games. A quick turnover for Inter Miami. And now Tlasco Segovia does a good job tracking back and winning it. Yannick Bright was looking for Berterame, and we have a foul. Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle. Free kick right in front of the midfield stripe. Lionel Messi going to stand over it. He's going to go quickly to Segovia. 2-man 2-ball, Messi and Segovia. Yannick Bright right at the midfield circle in Inter Miami territory. And now he retreats to Mikael. Here's Messi. Messi, slow roller to Bright. Good pass. Reguilon. Far side touchline to Segovia. Inching into the box is Tlasco. Tlasco tried to find Lionel Messi, and that's where Philadelphia is able to clear it away. Inter Miami back on it after a couple of one-touch boots by Philly. But if you're just joining us, folks, Philly has opened the scoring up not once but twice. In the 12th minute, it is 2-0. Inter Miami down to the worst team in the MLS. Milan Iloski, 3 goals in 2 games. He is on a brace. He had a 4th-minute goal and a 10th-minute spot kick penalty goal. Far side touchline, Reguilon cutting in. Now Rodrigo to Paul. Nifty move. Rodrigo still on it. Plays Messi. Messi in the box. Pass it. Berterame. Goal! Herman Berterame pulling one back. Incredible pass by Lionel Messi. And Berterame in the 12th minute makes this 2-1. Now that looks like our Inter Miami Herons. Liquid play. Rodrigo to Paul. Nice pass to Messi. Messi in the box. He went back stick to Berterame, and he cleaned it up like a dog with a bone. Leaving no scraps. But a good run of play by DePaul. He got that to Messi. Nathan Harriel almost intercepted that pass to Messi. But the great one got on the end of it, sent the ball back stick. And Berterame able to clean it up. Now there are a couple, that ball might have touched another Inter Miami player. He was on sides, but Messi might not get credited with that assist. I'll keep you updated here on your Inter Miami radio network. But 2-1, Berterame pulling one back. This one looks like a track meet. 3 goals in 14 minutes. Near side touchline, DePaul. Inter Miami immediately winning it off at the start. Now St. Clair out of his own box. Near side touchline, this is Reguilon. Reguilon got fouled. Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle. That went against the wonder kid, Gavin Sullivan. Once again, if you're just joining us, Gavin Sullivan, the youngest professional athlete to ever make a debut in North America back in 2024. He was 14 years old. He has been through the United States Youth Academy for the USMNT, and I personally think he's going to be one of the better players for our national team in a couple of years. Now, Rodrigo DePaul bullied off the ball. It was a bad pass by Suárez to DePaul. Philly on it again. They're in the box in a dangerous spot, and what a tackle by Gonzalo Luan. Ian Frey bullying Anello off the ball. Now our Herons are on the break. This is Lionel Messi, near side touchline, veering in. Messi still on it. Pass to Segovia, and that's where it breaks down. Messi on the ground, and a booking. A card is shown. Lionel Messi got taken to ground, and it's going to go against Gainer Martinez. So Gainer Martinez with a booking in the 15th minute. Messi cut in, and oh my goodness, he got bulldozered by Gainer Martinez. Immediately to the ground. 10 out of 10 a yellow card, not a red, but 10 out of 10 a yellow card, always a yellow card on that. 16th minute, 2-1 Philly on top of our Inter Miami Herons. A Herman Berterame goal was pulled back in the 13th minute, but Milan Iloski, 3 goals in 2 games. He's on a brace. The young 26-year-old American. He's in a dual strike partnership tonight with Bruno Damiani. But Messi is standing over a free kick. The free kick about 15 yards outside of the midfield circle. They'll go short. Reguilon services a ball in, now in the air, a fight for it, and a foul. That's going to go against Reguilon. On the floor is Jean-Jacques for Philly. By the way, Danley Jean-Jacques, he is actually going to be on the Haitian national team. The only Philadelphia Union player that will be representing the Union at the World Cup. Once again, Danley Jean-Jacques. He's all right. And now going to be a free kick right outside of the penalty arc for Andre Blake, the goalkeeper. 35 years old, Andre Blake. Played a lot of world football in his time. A veteran for this young Philly side. He boots it deep. And that one is won by Philly. And now on it, near side touchline is Anello. A fight between Frey and Bender. And now a stoppage of play. I heard that whistle being blown, but they kept playing. I believe it was an offsides. The flag was up. Inter Miami going to have a free kick. They go quick with DePaul. They did credit Lionel Messi with the assist, by the way. So Lionel Messi, 5 goals and 6 assists in 5 games. 18th minute, 2-1, Philly on top of our Herons. This is DePaul. DePaul and Bright, 2-man, 2-ball. They switch the fields to Mikael. Mikael with a deep pass, looking for Suárez to get in on net. And that ball won by Philly. Philly going deep themselves. A fight for it now, and a sliding tackle by Luan. Smartly won, and now DePaul turns it over. Philly near side touchline. Bender looking for Sullivan. Sullivan on it, near side touchline, 18th minute. Sullivan with a nifty move. He's in the box, still on it. Now he lays it up. This is Jean-Jacques. Now back shot on St. Clair. It's deflected and a goal. 3 goals for Philadelphia. Cleaning it up after the initial shot was Bruno Damiani. Damiani is in the back of the net in the 19th minute. It was a great setup by the wonder kid, Kevin Sullivan, cutting in. Berterame deflected it. That ball was then won by Anello. Anello made a pass to Westerfield. Westerfield put a shot on, and then that one was cleaned up. It was a shot on target. St. Clair stopped the initial shot by Westfield, but the defenders failed them because Bruno Damiani cleaned it up. 3-1, Philly on top of our Herons. Just when you think Inter Miami got the momentum back, Philly able to get another one. 3 goals. I want to make sure I'm right on this. So Philly right now, they scored 1 goal against the Crew. Now, they did score 3 goals against Orlando in a loss. And they scored 1 goal against New England. Right now, in MLS play, they are tied with the most goals they've scored in a game so far. They did score 7 goals against Defense Force, who is a club out of Trinidad and Tobago in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. But as far as within the MLS, 3 goals is the most. Philly, or rather tied the most, that they have scored in a single game. Certainly 3.5 is the most they've scored. They've not scored 3 goals in a single half all year long. I do know that for a fact. But work to do for Inter Miami. They got the squad to do it. Play resumed. Keep in mind, they scored 3 minutes after Milan Iloski had that spot kick after the Dane St. Clair foul in the box. But 22nd minute, Philadelphia up 3-0 on our Herons. Near side touchline, this is Luan, now DePaul. DePaul tries going to Frey and a foul. Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle. That's going to go against Ben Bender. Bender, who's been hot as of late. One goal and 2 assists in the Union's last 3 goal contributions heading into this game. Plays left fullback as we have a throw-in on the far side touchline. Inter Miami trying to gather their bearings a bit. Appreciate everyone in the YouTube chat tonight. That's Janet, Nathan, Killiman, probably around as well. You could listen to a plethora of ways here in our Miami Radio Network. As on the ground is Gonzalo Luan bulldozering over him with Jovan Lukic. And now Rosendo Mendoza stops play and a card. A second booking here in the first half for Philly. So Lukic picking up a yellow. Head referee Rosendo Mendoza did not like that one. So Philly 2 yellow cards in the game so far. Gaynor Martinez and Jovan Lukic. And Mendoza and St. Clair still having conversations over the ball, but it is a booking. '24th minute now, 3-1, Philly and Inter Miami. Philly 7 points on the Eastern Conference table this year. They have 1 win. Now, I am the as you know on our Inter Miami Radio Network, I am the ultimate Inter Miami homer. but they're currently up against the best team in the league. A lot of time. Inter Miami certainly could turn this thing around in a hurry. We've seen it. But the only win for Philly on the season came back on April 11th against Montreal at Montreal. Play resumed. They're on it in their own territory with Luan. Luan now. They'll switch their fields to Reguilon. Reguilon trying to get it in the middle of the pitch. He does to Berterame. Now here's DePaul, and DePaul completely missed that pass to Berterame, and Philly is on the run. A deep through ball. Dane St. Clair comes off his lines and clears it. Trying to get on the end of that was Jean-Jacques on the other end, and now Rosendo Mendoza stopping play. As someone lost the sole of their shoe. So someone is without a sole in their boot. And now Mendoza goes to the sideline and he issues for a water break. So a water break here in the 25th minute. As it is incredibly hot, folks. I don't mind telling this. So before I came down, folks, I live in West Palm Beach. Before I drove down here, by the way, record timing to Miami, got down here in an hour 15 from West Palm. I went to get a coffee at my clubhouse, my apartment complex. And I left my keys in the coffee area. So naturally, you folks know these apartment complexes. Fort Knox. Can't get in. I don't have my keys. Keys are on my car keys. I'm running around the complex, sweating, not noticing it because, I got to get down to Miami, got to call the game. I finally find a nice young lady to swipe me into the building. I get my keys, and she looks at me, and she goes, "Honey, I changed your shirt." I look down, and I was wearing a white button-down. Let's just say, Oscar Gonzalez, my OG on-site producer, that button-down did not make it down here to South Florida. I had to go inside and change. It is a wet noodle here in Florida today. But 3-1. This has been about a minute 30, going to probably 2 minutes of stoppage. Keep that in mind when we hit extra time in the 45th minute. But I'm like the rest of you listening on the Inter Miami Radio Network, I am shocked. 3-1, Philly, the worst team in the league. A brace so far with Milan Iloski, and then a goal by Bruno Damiani. The two strikers in the dual strike partnership for Philly are the goal scorers. And then for our Herons, Herman Berterame getting in the 13th minute, assisted by Lionel Messi. Play resumed. Suárez with a pass to Suárez, and now on a near side touchline is Frey. Frey cutting into the box. Pass to the back post, deflected. Can our Herons get on it? They do with Messi. Pass in the box to Suárez. Back to Messi. Shot! Oh my goodness! He almost had a wonder goal. That one just a whisker to the right. But unbelievable build-up play by Inter Miami. Set that one up for Lionel Messi on a tee. A pass in by Frey. Messi won the ball. Found Suárez. Suárez went right back to Messi. Messi took it on a one-touch, darn near off of a volley, and he just missed that right side of the net. Head gaffer Guillermo Hoyos was very thankful of his players in the media today, saying the great form the team is in is all because of them. Suárez now on it again. Segovia, Messi, penalty arc. Leo, ball on a string. Pass into Suárez, and wow, a sliding tackle. That was Harriel. Inter Miami still on it. In the box, shot, goal, Suárez off of the volley. Luis Suárez pulls another one back for Inter Miami. It's 3-2. Unbelievable play for Inter Miami. Luis Suárez off of a volley in the 28th minute. Unbelievable by the veteran. Still can't believe he got a foot on that. Messi cut in Pass was deflected. Frey came up, passed it to Suárez. Suárez chested it and then took it off the volley and put it in the back of the nets. Vintage Barcelona, Luis Suárez. Guys, we got 5 goals. It's the 29th minute. My OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, loving that. Luis Suárez is a fan favorite for him. Also, our frequency coordinator, Paul Adams, is coming around on him as well. 30th minute, 3-2, Philly and Miami. We have a track meet. 5 goals. We're 15 minutes away from extra time. Inter Miami now on it. Their own half, near side touchline. This is Ian Frey. Back to Luan. Inter Miami probing out of their defense. They switch their fields to Reguilon on the far side touchline. Sergio centralizes it in the pitch to DePaul. DePaul with a good run of play. DePaul's still on it. Now he gets tackled from behind. And Philly are racing to the other side of the pitch. Jean-Jacques finds Sullivan and a foul. That's going to go against Reguilon. Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle. Appreciate everyone listening tonight on the Inter Miami Radio Network. On that dial, 106.3 on your FM dial, on Sirius XM, on Apple TV, and in the YouTube chat. Once again, our YouTube chat, folks, our YouTube stream, rather, ESPN West Palm FC. Janet and Nathan active in the chat. They want a leveler before halftime. With the way this is going, Janet, I think we might get one. But you can join the conversation too, folks. ESPN West Palm FC on our live stream. Pass in off the free kick. That one deflected away by Reguilon. Still on it are the Union. Now at the penalty arc, Damiani with a shot on target, but that one thankfully blocked. Rather, it was tracking on target, and that was blocked by Mikael. Kevin Sullivan, folks, I'll tell you what, as a United States men's national team diehard fan, I'm very happy from what I'm seeing, arguably, from our top wonder kid. Near side touchline throw in. That ball won by Frey. Frey doing battle with Bender, and now a foul. Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle again. And it's going to be a free kick right outside of the near side of the near side touchline. Probably, let's see, Oscar, 5 yards, yeah, 5 yards outside of the near side touchline, right outside of the box. Standing over the free kick is Kevin Sullivan. 32nd minute, 3-2. Inter Miami on top of, Philadelphia on top of Inter Miami. I'm so used to saying Inter Miami winning. Sullivan and Iloski standing over this dangerous free kick. Sullivan takes it, pass into the box, deflected by Yannick Bright, goes out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in on that same near side touchline. 33rd minute, Mikael barking orders at the defense. These throw-ins outside of the box are dangerous. Is Sullivan going to try to whip it into the box for an opportunity? Now he relinquishes the duties to Bender. Bender is on it now, near side touchline, crossing it into the back stick, nobody at home. Reguilon is there. Reguilon boots it into the air towards midfield. Fighting for it is Suárez and Gainer Martinez, as Messi came tracking in, trying to get on a breakaway. And they go back to the veteran goalkeeper, Andre Blake. Blake plays it past the midfield line. On it now, Kevin Sullivan, right at the midfield circle. Now near side touchline, this is Bender. Bender gets it across midfield. Now he cuts in. Bender with space. He'll switch his fields to Westerfield. Westerfield now to Jean-Jacques. Back to Westerfield. Jean-Jacques. Now Lukic. Lukic Gets it back to Westerfield. Westerfield trying to cross it into the box. Deflected by Reguilon, but Westerfield won it again, and he earns himself a corner for Philly. Brought to you by Lytle Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath. Folks, for 40 years, Lytle Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath have been serving injured people and their families here in South Florida. Visit foryourrights.com. foryourrights.com, folks, or you can go see them. They got main offices in Palm Beach Gardens. 34th minute, 3-2, Philly on top of our Herons. A corner kick, a right foot in-swinger from the right side. Damiani trying to line it up, boots it in, header, and it's still in the air. St. Clair gleefully catches it. 2 Union players on the floor, and now Rosendo Mendoza blows his whistle. We're going to take a look and see if the injured players are all right. That's Nathan Harriel, who's holding his head. And I believe the second player is up. Yeah, second player is up. Now it's just Nathan Harriel. Herman Berterame, the one of the goal scorers for Inter Miami. Luis Suárez had an incredible, he chested it down to himself and then took it off the volley. I said vintage Barcelona, Liverpool Suárez. But somehow, some way, Philly on top, the worst team in the MLS. 1 win all season. Montreal, April 11th. Over a month ago. As they're still looking at Nathan Harriel as the Inter Miami crowd getting into it a bit. Guillermo Hoyos talking to his players. And now they scrape up Harriel off the ground, the physios for Philly. I believe he's still going to give it a go. Let's say here for Philly, the center backs available off the bench, Finn Sundstrom. And that's it. 1 center back off the bench available tonight. And he is going to go, by the way. He's going to get warmed back up on the sideline. That's Harriel. Finally, Rosendo Mendoza blows his whistle. We're going to have a significant amount of free time. Added time, excuse me. 5+ minutes, my guess. Suárez plays it to Ian Frey. Frey tries crossing it into the box, and he won a corner presented by Lytle Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath. And now we have a yellow card, and that's going to go against Ian Frey. That's the second week that Frey has picked up a card for what he said. But Ian Frey was very unhappy with whatever happened. Or he wanted a handball, and he screamed at the referee. Must have said some vulgarity, and he picked up a yellow. Yannick Bright now pleading for Frey that it was a handball. Ultimately, Inter Miami not going to win that fight. This is a corner kick presented by Lytle Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath. Taking a left foot outswinger is Lionel Messi from the right side. Messi takes it, direct shot Olympico, almost went in. That was the closest Olympico Lionel Messi has had all season long. Forgive me for thinking that he'll actually, no, it's from the left side. But another corner presented by Lytle Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Farnrath. Luis Suárez standing over this one. Obviously, Olympico's folks can only, it's from the right side, and now Suárez goes through Olympico, and that one is no good. Lionel Messi won the ball, but a foul. Messi took Milan Iloski to the ground, and the crowd doesn't like it. Neither does the booth. But 39th minute, 3-2, Philly on top. As now that we see the replay, pretty weak. But no card for Leo. On the rug and on the floor is Ben Bender, the left back for Philly. Messi and Mendoza having discussions about the foul. Andre Blake standing over the free kick from the penalty arc. As now he boots it away with the right foot. Deep in Inter Miami territory, Dane St. Clair's got to come off of his line after a dangerous deflection, I guess I can call it. Tracking in was Agustin Anello, but crisis averted. 3-2. Mikael. Far side touchline to Reguilon, but once again, 40th minute, 3-2, Philly on top. Reguilon plays it to Segovia. Segovia right outside of the box, goes to ground. Mendoza says play on. Philly on it now. Tracking is Bender. And that one won by Inter Miami. Near side touchline, here's DePaul. DePaul goes back to the defense. Mikael, far side touchline to Reguilon. Reguilon and Segovia, 2-man-2 ball. Now Bright right at midfield. Out of options, nifty move, and he'll ultimately go backwards. That could have possibly turned into something. Had a couple of Inter Miami players streaking towards goal, but Bright almost got dispossessed after a couple of nice moves. He's got to go back to the defense. Speaking of the defense, on it is Mikael. Mikael now, far side touchline into Philly territory. Reguilon crosses it in, trying to centralize the ball. Now won by DePaul. Looked like a handball, but it wasn't called. Now to Suárez. Suárez in the box. To Messi. Messi to Berterame. Goal! Herman Berterame out of brace in the 41st minute. Lionel Messi with his second assist in the first half. Berterame in form. Early, 3-3, tied up, 6 goals and a half. What is in the water here in Miami? 6 goals, 3-3. We have a track meet in South Florida. Birdie, near post. Andre Blake never stood a chance. Suárez found Leo. Leo with a ball in. He actually was going to ground. A last gasp pass. Goal. Philly resumes. Ball won by Inter Miami. Now a turnover by DePaul, and Philly will track back to their goalkeeper, Andre Blake, and try to calm everybody down. Blake being pressed by Suárez, and a bad turnover by Blake. On it is Messi. Oh my goodness, a sliding tackle by Harriel saved another goal. That was an oopsie, as we call it on our Inter Miami radio network, by Blake. But they avert a crisis. Going to ground is Luan. No whistle in the box. Anello shot blocked. Oh my goodness. Inter Miami wanted a foul, and then Anello is on it with nobody nearby. A big-time stop by St. Clair. Here comes Inter Miami. End-to-end stuff. Berterame cuts in, finds DePaul. Messi, penalty arc. Pass deflected, and it'll be a corner kick presented by Little Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Let's take a breath with Little Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, who have been serving injured people and their families for 40 years in South Florida. Visit foryourrights.com. This will be a Lionel Messi corner from the right side, or it's going to be DePaul. DePaul's going to play it short to Messi. Back to DePaul. Now Inter Miami will reset. Here's Segovia right between the penalty arc and the midfield circle. He comes back near side touchline to Messi. Now DePaul. DePaul try and give it immediately back to Messi. Leo's on it, and he goes to ground. No call. DePaul shot blocked. Back stick cleaned up. Suárez! It's Luis Suárez! 7 goals! 7 goals! Suárez on a brace, cleaning it up on the back stick. Messi Messi goes to ground. DePaul gets it. DePaul puts a shot on. And then Suárez cleans it up. We have 7 goals. 4-3, Inter Miami on top. Suárez walked it in. So Messi goes to ground. DePaul with a nice shot on target. And then Suárez on that back stick literally walked the dog into the goal. Oh my goodness. Luis on a brace. Berterame on a brace. 45th minute awaiting extra time. It's 4-3. VAR check complete. It was never offsides. Suárez left at the perfect time right after DePaul shot it, and he was waiting. He was waiting on that back stick. And we have 9 minutes of extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. You can test drive the new Q3 e-tron. Audi, folks, is the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF. Once again, Audi is the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF. Unbelievable. I'm trying to gather my bearings on our Inter Miami radio network. 7 goals and a half, and they might not be done. Here is Frey, and that ball scooped up by Andre Blake. Trying to get out on the run. We're the Herons. Philly on it now with Jovan Lukic. Near side touchline, Bender. Bender now up the field to Lukic. Lukic pass into the box. On it is Philly again in the box. Shot on target. Deflected by St. Clair. That was Agustin Anello getting on that one. End-to-head stuff as we're on the break. Here's Lionel Messi. Veers into Berterame. Back to Messi. And Leo got the touch wrong as he was inching towards the penalty arc and got dispossessed. Hold your breath. Here comes Gavin Sullivan, the wonder kid. He lays it up. Shot blocked. St. Clair stopping Jovan Lukic. How many chances are we going to have? St. Clair pleading with this back line and defenders. 47th minute, 2 minutes into the 9 minutes extra time. As Inter Miami able to clear it off the free kick. Still in the air, a fight for it. And now on it is Reguilon on the far side touchline. Still in play. Reguilon, now ball won by DePaul. DePaul to Frey. Frey near side touchline, Messi. That ball rolls out of bounds. And they're quickly taking the throw-in, and on it is Harriel. Now Bender, Anello. Anello cutting in. Gets it to Damiani, now Iloski, now Kevin Sullivan. Sullivan looked like he was going for goal. Sullivan wins it in the box! He's still on it. He makes St. Clair, he's still on the ball, and he wants a handball. He's not gonna get one. Is Inter Miami able to clear it away? Now it's Inter Miami's turn to run. This is Suárez to Messi. Messi with acres of space. Finds DePaul. DePaul cross in. Suárez goal! Oh, but he's offsides. Unbelievable. The lines judge. She has her flag up. Her in offsides. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on our Inter Miami radio network.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
I think they want to look at it. DePaul is, typical Rodrigo is pleading, but they're gonna. I think VAR is gonna look at this. I don't know how I don't think he's ever offside. My bet. They're saying DePaul was offsides from the messy pass. I was about to say Suárez was never offsides. They're saying Rodrigo was a step offsides. Man, that's tight. We got to get the line. You know what I mean? We got to get the line. But we're checking for a possible penalty. A possible goal. Excuse me, folks. Here in the first half, but as of right now, it's still 4-3. And head referee Rosendo Mendoza is going to look at the monitor. And it's a possible handball in the box as well. Got a lot of things to clean up on that box. He's checking a handball and to see if DePaul was offside or not. So bear with us, folks. This is going to go longer than the 9 minutes. Oh boy, for Inter Miami. So my OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, and our frequency coordinator, Paul Adams, they're telling me that it might be a handball on Inter Miami. What a turn of events. And it's going to go possibly against Sergio Reguilon. So the goal isn't going to count for DePaul, or rather, the goal isn't going to count because DePaul was offside on the initial pass from Messi. That's been sorted. But now, head referee Rosendo Mendoza is looking at a possible handball. It looked like, I'm not going to lie, folks, it looked like it touched Reguilon's forearm. We're going to get the official call.
After review, number 3, Miami commits a handling offense. Final decision is penalty.
Unbelievable! Folks! A play that happened to play before is being awarded as a handball. Wow! So Kevin Sullivan, the United States men's national team wonder kid, made nifty moves in the box and tried to lay up an aerial pass in the box. It hit Reguilon's forearm, and we have a handball, a spot kick. Milan Iloski is trying to make it a hat trick in the first half. You hear the crowd, they don't like it. And I mean, DePaul, folks, was centimeters offsides on what would have been a goal. And then we rewind to full play, and there's a handball. What doesn't this game have? Milan Iloski trying to make it a hat trick in the first half. You hear the crowd, they don't like it. Can St. Clair go huge? Dane has not saved a penalty yet this year. He wants to be Canada's starting keeper. Shot! Goal! St. Clair gets the wrong way, and Milan Iloski, a hat trick in the first half. 4-4. 8 goals. A young Kobe in the first half. 8 goals. What the hell is the time? 53 minutes. We're 8 minutes into the allotted 9, but we stopped for 5 minutes. We're gonna have a 60-minute first half. Unbelievable. What is going on? And now we have a scrum. Now there was a fight that's being broken up. This is your Inter Miami Radio Network. I am Mike Rizzo, voice of the Herons. My OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, our frequency coordinator, Paul Adams, and our producer back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach is Kate Chumslin, who is a busy man cutting all these goals because we've had 8 of them, and I'm out of breath, and it's not even halftime. Don't worry. I got spare oxygen in the bag. Don't worry. Because on it now is Segovia. Segovia inching to the box. Far side touchline, Reguilon. Reguilon cross in, back stick. That one caught by Andre Blake. Blake in his box. Finally boots it away. He booted it towards the dual strike partnership of Iloski and Damiani. And Inter Miami now on it in their own half. Yannick Bright. Far side touchline, Reguilon. And that one's won by Westerfield. On it is Kevin Sullivan. Back to Westfield, now Iloski. Yannick Bright with a massive tackle. Can Inter Miami get on the break? Suárez looking for DePaul. Rodrigo doesn't have the steam to get there. But thankfully, Ian Frey wins it. And then he turns it over. So Inter Miami can hold possession. 55th minute. We're 10 minutes into the allotted 9, but we stopped for 5. I have no idea when the whistle's coming, folks. I'm sorry. As now we have a card. This is going to go against Telasco Segovia, who is a big tackle on the far side touchline. Now this is the third yellow card of the half. Jovan Lukic and Gaynor Martinez have cards, yellows for Philly. And now Telasco Segovia. A booking in the 55th minute. Once again, 9 minutes of extra time, but we looked at VAR for about 5 minutes. So I think it might go to 60. This might go to 60. 4-4 on your Inter Miami radio network. Berterame and Suárez on braces as a pass into the box. On it is Philly. Oh my goodness, they almost put one past Dane again. Gaynor Martinez almost put a right foot in the back of the net on a quick resumage of play. Anello, Agustin Anello, put a pass/shot in, and Gaynor Martinez almost blasted a right foot in the net. Now Martinez is a defender. He don't necessarily have that quality in front of net, but that was too close for comfort. We're 11 minutes into the allotted 9. Here's DePaul, turnover. On it is Anello, and he was looking at that far side touchline to Westerfield. Inter Miami wins it. On it is Reguilon. Far side touchline, Segovia. Segovia, DePaul. DePaul, another turnover. And Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle. Is that halftime? And it is halftime. Good golly, folks! Holy cow, we played 57 minutes, 4-4, Inter Miami and Philly. Philly has not scored 4 goals all year in the MLS. They got 4 at the half. Inter Miami now has 19 goals in 5 games. We'll have all the highlights coming up next at halftime as I take a breath on our Inter Miami radio network.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Michael Irvin. Another promo just dropped on Hard Rock Bet. I got a profit boost this morning. Whoa, and a huge bonus bet just hit my account. Is the app on fire like this every week?
Only on days that end in Y. Like today, yesterday, all day, every day.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
If you love soccer, let Tri-Rail be your connection to Inter Miami CF games at Miami Freedom Park. Take the train to skip traffic and parking. Just an easy ride to the match. And the stadium is just steps away from Tri-Rail's Miami Airport Station. Plus, return service makes getting home simple after the final whistle. Weekend round-trip fares are just $5. Plan your ride at tri-rail.com, tri-rail.com.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients and South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath, proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Irv, you watching the game?
Watching? I'm all over these live bets on the Hard Rock Bet app right now. Brother, I'm in the game. That's a quick winner. Si se puede, si se puede, si se
Live
puede.
betting on Hard Rock Bet makes any game worth celebrating.
Si se.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start live betting today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Picture this. A curve in the road. A change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
All right. I found myself some carbonation on our Inter Miami radio network as my voice is full strength. Let's not worry about that, folks. But I'll tell you what, both Inter Miami and the Philadelphia Union offense is at full strength. It's 4-4 at halftime. Now, Kate Chumsland, somehow, some way, has every goal, starting with the Milan Iloski goal in the 4th minute. The club is on its way to one of the most horrific finishes in MLS history with only 7 points on the table at this point. But they are pitter-pattering around the box, shot at a goal. Oh, my goodness. All that talk, they hear it because Milan Iloski is in the back of the net in the 3rd minute. Yeah, we just got started, too, because Milan Iloski stood over a penalty kick, his first of 2 in the 10th minute after Dane St. Clair sent him aerial. Can St. Clair come up huge? Iloski approaches shot, goal! It's 2-0. Philadelphia flying in the first half. 3 minutes later, Herman Berterame opened up the scoring for Inter Miami. Now Rodrigo to Paul. Nifty move. Rodrigo still on it. Plays Messi. Messi in the box. Pass it, Berterame, goal! Herman Berterame pulling one back. Incredible pass by Lionel Messi. And Berterame in the 12th minute makes this 2-1. Believe it or not, Philly would go up 3-1 with Bruno Damiani. This is Sean Schach. Now back shot on Dane St. Clair. It's deflected and a goal. 3 goals for Philadelphia. Cleaning it up after the initial shot was Bruno Damiani. So Damiani, not Diamani, Damiani cleaning that up in the 20th minute. And then Luis Suárez chests one down off the volley into the back of the net. Leo, ball on a string, pass into Suárez, and wow, a sliding tackle. That was Harriel. Inter Miami still on it. In the box, shot, goal, Suárez off of the volley. Luis Suárez pulls another one back for Inter Miami. It's 3-2. Unbelievable play for Inter Miami. Now, after this, trying to keep up, it goes 4-3 with Luis Suárez cleaning it up on the back stick. Try and give it immediately back to Messi. Leo's on it, and he goes to ground. No call, the ball, shot blocked. Back stick, cleaned up. Suárez! It's Luis Suárez! 7 goals! 7 goals! Suárez on a brace! 4-3 at that moment. Believe it or not, it looked like Inter Miami was going up 5-3. DePaul offsides by a grain of grass. And then, believe it or not, they looked at a play 2 plays before. Handball, Milan Iloski hat trick. Can St. Clair go huge? Dane has not saved a penalty yet this year. He wants to be Canada's starting keeper. Shot! Goal! So St. Clair can't come up with that save. He saw 2 penalty kick goals go across his line, and it's 4-4. I'm tired of listening to that. Let's take a timeout on our Inter Miami radio network.
If you love soccer, let Tri-Rail be your connection to Inter Miami CF games at Miami Freedom Park. Take the train to skip traffic and parking. Just an easy ride to the match. And the stadium is just steps away from Tri-Rail's Miami Airport Station. Plus, return service makes getting home simple after the final whistle. Weekend round-trip fares are just $5. Plan your ride at tri-rail.com, tri-rail.com.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Pool days call for cookouts and lots of laundry. This Memorial Day at Lowe's, save $80 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill. Now just $199. Plus, get up to 45% off select major appliances to keep dishes, clothes, and food fresh. Having fun in the sun is easy with us in your corner. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See associate or Lowe's.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Michael Irvin, another promo just dropped on Hard Rock Bet. I got a profit boost this morning. Whoa, and a huge bonus bet just hit my account. Is the app on fire like this every week?
Only on days that end in Y. Like today, yesterday, all day, every day.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Now let's get to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
All right, we just heard all of the goals, all 8 goals from the first half on our Inter Miami radio network. But right now on yellow cards, Tlaxco Segovia on a card for Inter Miami, and then Jovan Lukic and Gainer Martinez. So both of them on cards. 3 players with yellow cards. I am assuming either David Aishala, Davi Ruiz, Preston Plambic. Those are the midfielders on the bench. They could come on for Inter. And then as far as Fielli, they got a plethora of midfielders like Raffanello, Bedoya, and then their only center back that could come on for Gaynor would be Finn Sundstrom. Folks, let's take one more timeout when we come back the second half. And then I just wanted to mention, too, Audi. Actually, folks, let's take a timeout. We're coming back. We're presented by Audi on our Inter Miami radio network.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
If you love soccer, let Tri-Rail be your connection to Inter Miami CF games at Miami Freedom Park. Take the train to skip traffic and parking. Just an easy ride to the match. And the stadium is just steps away from Tri-Rail's Miami Airport Station. Plus, return service makes getting home simple after the final whistle. Weekend round-trip fares are just $5. Plan your ride at tri-rail.com, tri-rail.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Folks, your Inter Miami radio network is brought to you by your local South Florida Audi dealer. We all know the feeling. A change of plans, an unexpected curve, and a new opportunity. Instead of overthinking it, what if you just said yes? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer is easy. The Q3 is made for the S-Life. With the power and room to handle whatever pops up, say yes to adventure, escape, and right now with the all-new Audi Q3 made for the Yes Life. Audi is the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF football. Once again, Audi is the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF football. All right, folks, was able to find some diet carbonation at halftime. My voice is revved up and ready to go. Appreciate everyone listening on our Inter Miami Radio Network, including longtime broadcaster Dave Johnson, play-by-play man for DC United and the Washington Wizards. He's chiming in on X. And, folks, you can watch the game, and rather, you can listen to the game a plethora of ways, but it's 2026. Go over to that YouTube stream at ESPN West Palm FC. You can watch the stream. It's got the graphics up. It's got the time. It's got the score. My buddy Kate Chumsland works real hard on all that back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. We appreciate all of his efforts. And he's going to be working tonight on the highlights because we have 8 goals. It's 4-4 at halftime. Herman Berterame and Luis Suárez both have braces in the first half. And then Milan Iloski in that first half had a hat trick. He had a hat trick, 2 spot kick penalty kicks, and an open field goal. And then Bruno Damiani, the other striker in the dual strike partnership, scoring. Now we are underway in the second half, and we immediately have a foul. That one is going against Yannick Bright. No card, but head referee Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle. And we're going to have a free kick for Philly. Standing over it is Kevin Sullivan, one of my favorites, a wonder kid for my United States men's national team, a youth player for Philadelphia. He came up through the United States, and I'm happy to see he's playing well. But pass in, deflected by Inter Miami, still up for grabs in the box. Segovia tracking, now he's on it. Can Inter Miami counter? Berterame on a run, passes midfield, gets past the defender, still on his feet. Pass now to Rodrigo de Paul. De Paul in the box to Messi, and cleaning up the tackle cleaning up the dangerous ball in the box with a sliding tackle, Jovan Lukic. Holy cow, Inter Miami almost countered. Great run of play by Segovia. He found Berterame. Berterame bulldozered over a defender. Wasn't a foul. He found DePaul, laid it up to Leo, and that's where the pass came. Off the post, off the corner. Oh, my goodness. That was Ian Frey, who's off bar in the 46th minute. We're picking up right where we left off. Throw in, near side touchline, Reguilon. By the way, all Inter Miami corners are brought to you by Leto Ratter, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Visit foryourrights.com. For 40 years, Leto Ratter, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath have been representing injured people and their families in South Florida. Near side touchline now. Big switch to the far side touchline. Yannick Bright on it. He'll retreat back to Luan. And Luan now standing over it. He finds Mikael. Mikael in between the midfield circle and the penalty arc. Now to Segovia on the near side touchline. He veers in and will switch back to the far side touchline. Luan now gets it over midfield. Gets it to Berterame. Berterame, one-time pass. Far side touchline. Ian Frey. Now Mikael right by the midfield circle in Inter Miami territory. Segovia to Luan. Back to Mikael. Right at that midfield circle. Now Segovia. He tracks it past midfield. He's looking for Berterame. Found him packing into the pocket into the defense. Berterame, near side touchline. Veering into the box. Birdie. Plays it to Reguilon. Reguilon, nifty move to Suárez. Back to Reguilon. Reguilon still on it. Pass back. Shot deflected. That was Messi getting a foot on it. But Philly deflects it. And now a turnover. Segovia trying to find Berterame. Scrum in the box. Won by Segovia. Now Frey. Frey trying to get it to Messi at the penalty arc, and that's where it breaks down. Near side touchline now on the counter. Philly. Kevin Sullivan cutting in, taking the ground, and a whistle. Is it a card? And it is. It's on Sergio Reguilon. So the 4th yellow card of the game, and it's going to go against Sergio Reguilon. Reguilon and Segovia on cards for Inter Miami, and then Gainer Martinez and Jovan Lukic on a card for Philly, and in the 48th minute, a booking for Segovia. Standing over a free kick is Iloski, who's going to try to get a dangerous pass into the box. 49th minute, 5 minutes played. Iloski to the back, stack, header, St. Clair off his line, swept forward in the box. Sullivan still on it. Sullivan at the byline, cross in, and finally deflected away by Bright. And it's going to be a throw-in on the far side touchline. Instant action in the second half as the rain starts coming down. A thick rain coming down now in the 49th minute. Thrown into the box, now cleared away by Bright. But Philly on it, far side touchline. Veering in now, Anello. Anello pass to Lukic. Lukic pass in and caught by Dane St. Clair, who came off his line. Yannick Bright to Reguilon on the near side touchline. He slides, he can't get there. Kevin Sullivan plays it quick. Back to Sullivan. Now Iloski. Sullivan again. Sullivan, ball on a string. Oh my goodness, he got past Mikael, but thankfully Dane St. Clair able to grasp it. Dangerous spot. Now Inter Miami trying to counter. Segovia with acres of space. He finds Messi. Leo veers in to the penalty arc. Still out of Messi. Messi in the box. Lays out to Suárez. Oh my goodness. It's over the crossbar. He got it all wrong. Messi with the brilliant run of play. Ball on a string on a yo-yo. Taking the dog for a walk. Lionel Messi. And he laid it up to Suárez, who, gosh, he got it all wrong, man. He had a finessey knuckleballer that went over the crossbar. End-to-end stuff, 51st minute, 4-4, Philly and our Herons. Milan Iloski winning a ball at midfield. He's looking for Bednar, and that goes out of bounds right at the midfield stripe. Fans can't believe that Luis Suárez, who is on a brace, by the way. Luis has played fantastic, but golly, he got the hat trick all wrong there. It was a mixture of placement and power, but now they're saying at least Oscar thinks it was a pass. Regardless, the old saying from my British and English roommates at Ohio State, he got it all wrong, mate. Now Segovia with space, veering towards the penalty arc. Berterame and Suárez can't get their runs lined up, and nobody ended up with the ball in the box. It was a beautiful pass by Segovia, but Berterame and Suárez couldn't decide who was onside. Inter Miami, though, on it at midfield. Far side touchline, Rodrigo to Paul. 52nd minute, 4-4, Philly and our Herons. Suárez and Birdie on braces for Inter Miami. Milan Iloski on a hat trick, and then Bruno Damiani on a goal as well. Yannick Bright trying to find Suárez, turnover. Philly trying to counter. Jean-Jacques trying to get it to Kevin Sullivan, and it breaks down at midfield. Mikael in Inter Miami territory, inching closer to midfield. He'll switch his fields to Luan. Luan now gets it across midfield, pass to Suárez. Suárez tried one time to get to Messi. A good defense by Philly, who snuffed it out. Philly player, that's Bruno Damiani going to ground. Was gently pushed. Not the Oscar Award-winning performance that Damiani put on, but it's certainly a foul as the rain continues to come down, folks. I would describe it as a heavy mist. Oscar a lifer down here in South Florida as rain is coming down. Once again, it's your Inter Miami Radio Network. Mike Rizzo, voice of the Herons. My OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, to my left. Our frequency coordinator, Paul Adams, here too. Kate Chumsman back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Philadelphia is probing in Inter Miami territory. And I'll tell you who's played well is this Kevin Sullivan, who's got it in a dangerous spot as well. He laid it up to Anello, and then Anello got the pass wrong. But, folks, I know I love the United States men's national team. They're arguably one of my favorite teams in the world, but I am very excited for the future for Kevin Sullivan from what I've seen in this picture. That's an awful turnover by Anello, as I'm waxing poetically about Sullivan. Inter Miami almost got on a counter, but Anello not going to pay for that turnover. Excuse me, that was Westerfield. Westerfield, the left back, with an awful turnover, but now we have a foul. Head referee Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle. We're trying to figure out if this is going to go against Inter Miami or Philly. But we have a Heron on the floor, on the rug, on the grass. And I think that's left my binocs at home. I'm trying to see it. That might be Rodrigo. I think that's DePaul, and it is Rodrigo DePaul on the floor. No, Yannick Bright, at your mercy. But we will have a Heron's free kick. It's going to go in the favor of Inter Miami, and Yannick Bright is okay. Rain still coming down. Into the box, looking for Messi. Was a DePaul pass, thwarted away by Philly. Sullivan boots it into the air at midfield. Getting a toe on it is Luan, but he got it all wrong. Thankfully, Philly's not going to make him pay, as that one will roll to St. Clair. That was Lukic looking for one of the strikers in the dual strike partnership on a deep pass. But Inter Miami on it. This is Segovia at midfield. Now he officially gets it past the line on the far side touchline to Reguilon in Philly territory. Reguilon looking for Messi. And that one intercepted by Philly. Now ball in the air, a fight for it and a foul. No card. But that's going to go against Gonzalo Luan. On the floor is Anello. Agustin Anello, that is. One of the midfielders in the 4-4-2. And we have our first substitution of the game. Number 23, Ezekiel Alado, coming on for Anello, who was just on the floor. So Agustin Anello gets the hook, and coming on is Ezekiel Alado. Alado wears the number 23 shirt as they immediately go in his vicinity. He's unable to get on the end of that long through ball, and it rolls out of bounds. Going to be a goal kick for Dane St. Clair. 4-4, 57th minute. 57th minute in the second half, 4-4. Inter Miami and Philly. Philly has already scored the most goals they've had in an MLS fixture this season. They did it in the first half. They haven't scored more than 3 until tonight. Far side touchline, Reguilon to DePaul. DePaul to Messi. One-timer pass by Messi gets intercepted. On it is the recently subbed on Alado. Now near side touchline, this is Ben Bender to Kevin Sullivan. Back to Bender. Dangerous pass. And thwarted away in the box. Streaking in was Bender. But now on it for Philly is Jean-Jacques. Pass to the back stick to Sullivan. Inter Miami able to thwart it away. Probing Philadelphia in Inter Miami territory as the Herons try to get out, but a big-time boot by Gainer Martinez puts that ball back deep in the Inter Miami box. Press still on for Philly. Now they'll retreat a bit and let Inter Miami breathe in their own territory. Impressive build-up play for Philly, started by the wonder kid Kevin Sullivan. DePaul in Philly territory, two-man, two-ball, him and Messi. Leo now on it, gets it to Suárez. Luis was looking for Messi, and a nifty ball win, nifty tackle, I should say, by Gainer Martinez. Philly on the run. This is Bednar into the box. Cross back to Bednar, shot, and a penalty! Rosendo Mendoza pointing to the spot. Bednar was dragged to the ground and a card. We're waiting on a decision from Rosendo Mendoza. The rain, guys, it is pouring. It looked like he pointed at the spot for a penalty kick, but it was a yellow card instead. I'm at your mercy. My lead spotter, Oscar Gonzalez, is telling me now offsides. There we go. You could scream at me, Oscar. It's okay. You could yell at me. Offsides. And guys, the visibility is hard here at Newbank Stadium as it's not raining. Remember that mist I was telling you about? It is officially pouring. And I'm at your mercy. Mendoza pointed at the spot for a penalty, but thankfully it was offsides. Now, he didn't card him, but he did point at the spot for a penalty, and ultimately it was offsides. That's the full story. So it would have been a penalty if Bednar wasn't in an illegal position. As now we have fans. I mean, folks, this is the hardest I think I've ever seen it rain living down here in South Florida for 2 years. Once again, my OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, is a veteran down here, lived down in Miami his whole life, but people are starting to retreat from the stands, and it's covered. Like, folks, the stands are covered, and people are still having to retreat. It is legitimately raining sideways. So in the 60th minute, it's 4-4. Conditions are playing a serious role in this. DePaul and Messi over it, to the point where Oscar's pulling his phone out. That's how you know it's coming down heavy. Oscar has seen a torrential downpour in his life. If he's pulling his phone out, that's how you know. Yannick Bright was looking for Messi back stick, going to be a goal kick. If a Floridian like Oscar is pulling his phone out, that's how you know it's raining. As my Midwestern mother would say, cats and dogs. 61st minute, 4-4. And on the floor, I think someone's cramping up down there. And that was Suárez. He immediately gets up. And now we have a goal kick that'll roll to the far side touchline. So wet, disgusting conditions at Newbank Stadium. Kevin Sullivan on it in inner territory. He veers into the box, and finally, Sergio Reguilon closes him down. Reguilon to the midfield to Segovia, and he's dispossessed. Turnover. On it is Westerfield, near side touchline. Right outside of the box is Kevin Sullivan. Sullivan tackled away by Bright. Yannick Bright winning an impressive duel against Sullivan. Now Suárez gets it to Messi on that far side touchline. Leo veering in. Finds Bright. Bright right outside of the box. Take it on. He does. And it's right at Andre Blake. And he comes up with the save. But he had to shoot that. He was wide open. And the Philadelphia defenders were blocking off Lionel Messi and Luis Suárez. They were begging for Yannick Bright to take that on, who doesn't necessarily put a lot of shots on target, being a DM, a defensive midfielder. Good one at that. Box-to-box DM. One of the better in the MLS. But 63rd minute, 4-4. Conditions, but, oh my gosh. Conditions coming into effect as Philly tried running that ball to the back stick. A good pass looking for Westerfield and St. Clair. I thought he was going to have a patented Inter Miami Radio Network oopsie, but he gathered it. Inter Miami countering. Segovia trying to get it to Berterame. Berterame still fighting for it with Gaynor Martinez, and Martinez literally grabs the ball. It should be a card. I agree. No card, but it's going to be a free kick right outside the box. Gaynor Martinez, folks, went to ground and legitimately grabbed the ball. One of the oddest things I've seen. I don't know if he was just trying to stop play. That's what I think, but that should have, that should have been a citation, but I leave that to Rosendo Mendoza, the head referee. Pouring. Did I mention it's raining hard? Substitution time for Philly. Coming onto the pitch is number 11, Alejandro Bedoya. And coming off the pitch, wow, this is surprising, Kevin Sullivan. That's, listen, I'm not the interim gaffer for Philly, nor do I want to be, but that is that's a head-scratching substitution for me. Sullivan's been the best player on the pitch all night, but he's coming off. Bradley Carnell, the interim manager, deciding to go with Alejandro Bedoya. Once again, if you're just joining us, 65th minute, Inter Miami on top of Philly, tied with Philly 4-4. Alejandro Bedoya coming on for Kevin Sullivan. Inter Miami still pleading for a card on Gainer Martinez, and the reason they're pleading is because if Gainer Martinez picks up another yellow card, he's off. He picked up a card earlier in the match, and he went to ground and literally grabbed the ball. He grabbed this. Folks, he grabbed the football. He grabbed the football on the ground, and that's what Inter Miami is pleading for. I mean, I think, and now we don't know who's coming off of the pitch. Kevin Sullivan is looking at me like, me? I'm the one coming off. So a lot of uncertainty on the pitch. Yeah, he can't believe it. Gavin, I can't believe you're coming off as well, brother. You've been the best player on the field. Selfishly, as a United States men's national team fan, I wanted to see more of him. But he'll come off for Alejandro Bedoya. And we have another substitution that'll come on. That'll be Jeremy Raffanello. So two central midfielders coming on. Ezekiel Alado, by the way, who subbed on earlier, is striker. St. Clair now going over to the lines judge and asking for clarification why that isn't a yellow. I think Philly, listen, as you know on the Inter Miami Radio Network, Mike Rizzo is the ultimate homer, all right? Inter Miami never done a bad thing in their life. But at the same time, taking out that bias, folks, any level of football that I have seen, that is a card. Now, David Aishala for Inter Miami is going to check in all the madness. And coming off of the pitch is the man on the yellow card, Talasco Segovia. And Facundo Mora will come on for Reguilon. So Facundo Mora and Aishala on. Segovia and Reguilon off. Now free kick, dangerous spot. Messi back stick. Oh my goodness, folks. He went for goal, and he went left foot from left to right. That almost curled into the upper 90 right post. So to the left of Andre Blake. The left post of Blake. That was incredible. Even in these conditions, oh my, good how close that is on the replay. Oh my goodness, Suárez can't believe it. Hands on head rather. Now the rain, it's not a monsoon anymore to the point of where Florida man Oscar Gonzalez has his phone out, but it is still raining. Near side touchline for Facundo Mora to Mikael. Now, Mikael trying to centralize it to the middle of the pitch, and that's a turnover. Fight for it, won by Inter Miami. Now Messi on it. Leo veering left and right. Ball on a string. A beautiful pass to Ian Frey. Plays off his line. Frey plays it in the box. Oh my goodness. Last ditch effort. Last ditch effort by Jovan Lukic. And now the flag is up. And it was offsides anyway. Ian Frey was in an illegal position. I thought Messi timed that up right, folks, on that far side touchline. But the lines judge, yeah, he is, and he was offside. So good call by the lines judge. But man, 69th minute, 4-4. For Inter Miami, Berterame and Suárez on braces. Milan Iloski has a hat trick for Philly, and Bruno Damiani has the other goal. Inter Miami trying to get out of their own half, press on for Philly. Philly wins the ball, and now they'll retreat deep into their own box. This is Lukic getting it to Blake, and now Blake clears that one out of his box with the right boot. Goes all the way down to the Inter Miami box. Now on at near side touchline, the recently subbed on Moura. Luan. Luan now trying to turn the tempo up a bit. Acres of space in front of him. Philly inviting him to come forward. Near side touchline pass midfield, Suárez. Suárez, deep pass, looking for Moura. Moura is in. Near side touchline right outside of the box. Cross in. And that one deflected away by Bender. Now Yannick Bright ends up with it, and he'll retreat to midfield and the defense with Mikael. 70th minute, 4-4. Inter Miami trying to find the winner. They're probing in Philly territory. Defenders up with the attack. Everyone past midfield. Can't turn it over. Because I think they realize that. They go back to St. Clair. St. Clair well out of the box. A nice pass, though, near side touchline to Moura. Now back to St. Clair in the box. Rain is down to a drizzle. Suárez now midfield. He'll do a big switch near side touchline to Moura. Moura to Aishala. And a bad turnover by Yannick Bright. Damiani now. He tried finding Ezekiel Alado. And Inter Miami wins it near side touchline. Yannick Bright ends up with that. Ezekiel Alado. Big striker for Philly. As Bright plays it to DePaul. DePaul now to Yannick Bright. Bright to Mikael. Big time pass from Mikael, who found DePaul, and then Moura. Now back to Mikael. Inter Miami parked in Philly territory probing. And Mikael got that through ball, aerial through ball, all wrong. But Berterame winning it, no foul. As Gator Martinez goes to ground, Berterame in the box. Shot, oh my goodness, Rodrigo DePaul is off the bar. Unbelievable. He was one-on-one with the keeper, and Rodrigo went off of top of the crossbar. No! In the 72nd minute, Berterame willed himself. Berterame willed himself onto that ball and sent it in. But folks, we have massive news as Lionel Messi leaves the pitch and he goes right into the locker room. We're under 20 days from the World Cup and Lionel Messi has just left the pitch. He's off the field and he left the pitch. He walked right into the locker room. Folks, I hope everything's all right. I hope everything's okay. I'm purely speculating. He just left the building. Or rather the building, excuse me. He just left the field. But he didn't go on the bench. He went right into the Inter Miami locker room, and subbing in for him is Matteo Silvetti. But DePaul went off the top crossbar. I cannot believe that did not go in, to being completely honest. As now a header on for Philly, who managed to get it all the way down to the Inter Miami box. And that one will roll out of bounds. Goal kick. Couple of speculations here on Messi. Maybe he had a mark where he wanted to come out of the game. He was coming out of the game in the 70th minute no matter what. Leo's going to have to play a lot of games at the World Cup coming up. So I think maybe that's it. The broadcaster in me immediately thinks injury. But I think it's the rain. It's a mixture of things, and he doesn't want to get hurt. That's probably my best guess. And we know how the MLS is, folks. It's not, hey, you need 3 points every single week. This isn't the Premier League. This isn't La Liga. This is a league where you could finish in the top 3 and get into the playoff and be in a good spot. Just ask Inter Miami last year. No game is meaningless, but in a game against the bottom feeder tied 4-4, you know, makes sense. But 74 minutes, 4-4, Philly and Inter Miami deadlock. Matteo Silvetti subbing on for Silvetti, and now we have a foul. That's going to be a card against Danley Jean-Jacques. And speaking of the World Cup, Danley Jean-Jacques is going to be representing Haiti. Probably going to be a starter on that team. But another yellow card for Philadelphia. Facundo Mora now, near side touchline. Back to Mikael. Across midfield now. Aishala to Bright. Mora, near side touchline. Back to Yannick Bright. Inter Miami probing in Philly territory. Suárez now on it, inching towards the penalty arc, and that's where he turns it over. Ezekiel Alado finds Jean-Jacques. Jean-Jacques gets it far side touchline. Now Philly with some tempo. They're trying to go forward to Alado, and Dane St. Clair able to grab it. 76 minute, 4-4, Philly and Inter Miami. Mikael on it. To Paul, tried getting it from Suárez, but was not ready for it. Philly on it in their own territory in the 76th minute. Ball in the air, 50-50 ball won by Philly, and now they boot it to Dane St. Clair and clear it. Miami still in their own territory. They go back to St. Clair again, and they'll reset near side touchline with Mora. Here's St. Clair, and now the press is on by Alado. Philly now in Inter Miami territory, parked and probing. Far side touchline now, ball into the box! A header towards St. Clair and a big-time save by Dane. It was number 11, recently subbed on Alejandro Bedoya, getting a head on it and a shot on target. Yeah, there were rumors before the match that Messi might not go the full 90, and I think that's exactly what happened there. I don't think Leo's hurt, for those of you that are wondering. Like I said, the broadcaster in me immediately goes, it's raining, he must have pulled something. No. It's now Inter Miami trying to string a couple of passes together in Philly territory. They're off the ball, and on it on the far side touchline is Bednar. Now Jean-Jacques being closed down by Inter Miami defenders. He got a pass all wrong, trying to go to Alado, and Mora is on it on the near side touchline. Now Mikael. Mora to Mikael. Now Mora again. I don't want to speculate, but it seems like Inter Miami might be okay with a draw here. the way they've been playing the last couple of minutes. I think they're just trying to get out of this one unscathed by the look of it, as that's a bad turnover by Frey. Rain is stopped, by the way. No rain anymore, but the players are soaked, the pitch is soaked, and you see the conditions starting to take a toll. As on that stop and go, a lot of, obviously, folks, in world football, a lot of stop and goes. As Alado now trying to win it in the box, and finally Mikael able to pick his pocket, and Alado immediately goes down in the box. It's never a foul. I just think he's trying to win himself a penalty, but Rosendo Mendoza going to stop play. 80th minute, 4-4. Inter Miami and Philadelphia. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification all across our Inter Miami radio network.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Well, I put the announcer's curse on the weather because the rain started to come back down again. A drizzle, not a monsoon like before, as Philly is in the box. Probing outside of it is Bednar. Shot deflected away by the Inter Miami defense, but still on it is Philly, as Bender was trying to go back stick to Damiani. And now Inter Miami on the counter. Here's Berterame. Silvetti. Pass back to Berterame. Berterame shot deflected. Bertie still on it. Lays it up to Suárez. Goal! A hat trick for Luis Suárez. Picking it up in the 81st minute. Berterame, original shot. Deflected, stay on it, and laid it up to Suárez. A hat trick for Luis. Puts Inter Miami on top by a goal, 5-4. Can they see it through? It all started with Matteo Silvetti on the near side touchline, who found Berterame. Berterame was one-on-one with the keeper. He missed it, but it was deflected. He stayed on it and then laid it up to a crashing Luis Suárez. 5-4, 81st minute. 9 goals. 9 goals. Luis Suárez doing his, trying his best to prove that he belongs on that Uruguayo roster. World Cup time. So videos have come out that Lionel Messi asked for a substitution. Once again, my best guess is that he just wanted to come off and get ready for the World Cup. It's raining, bad conditions. I mentioned the stop and go, folks, the stops and goes. That's how you do a hammy in. That's how you do a groin in. But I don't think the injury speculation, I don't think we should jump to conclusions. I'm monitoring the situation on social media to see if any information comes out. But more importantly, fact in hand, the matter at hand, in the 83rd minute, Luis Suárez makes it a hat trick. Berterame with 2 goals and an assist now in the match. And before Leo subbed off, he had 2 assists. So, can Inter Miami see this through against the bottom feeder in the Eastern Conference? More substitutions coming on for Philly. Number 20, Philip Dinga, checking into the game. Dinga will finish out at left back tonight. St. Clair now with a goal kick will boot it away. Berterame loses the header, and Philly on the run. Bender finds Milan Iloski, who's on a hat trick himself. Iloski cuts into the box, shot deflected by St. Clair. It was a good move by Iloski. He went near post, and St. Clair met it there, parried it away. Philly's still on it. Another shot, this one coming from Lukic. Lukic wins the ball now after a wicked deflection. On it is Bender, and he gets taken to ground. Bender taken to ground by Berterame. And Birdie not going to get flagged with a yellow, but it'll be a free kick right in between the midfield circle and the penalty arc. So Philly might try to put one of their better free kickers and put a shot on target. Iloski and Damiani both standing over it and having conversations. But 85th minute, 5-4, Inter Miami on top. Taken short, shot deflected off the wall. So it was a roller to Iloski, and he took one on. But now winning it back is Philly. They're veering into the box. Alado was on it for a second in there, then deflected by Inter Miami and cleared away. 50-50 ball in the air. Now won by Inter Miami. Rodrigo to Paul on that far side touchline on the counter in Philly territory. Still on the far side touchline to Paul. He lays it up to Suárez. Suárez on a hat trick. Back to DePaul, and now Inter Miami will probe in Philly territory. They'll do a big switch to Facundo Mora. Sadly, DePaul got the pass wrong, and Philadelphia intercepts. Going to ground, Mikael, he wins it. And then Alado tackles Bright from behind, and Rosendo Mendoza keeping his cards in his pocket as Bright is down holding his right leg. And we're seeing the replay on the Suárez goal as Berterame put an honest shot on target. He went near post to Blake. Blake stopped it. It literally rounded right back into Berterame's lap. Bernie laid it up to Suárez on the back stick, and Suárez cleaned it up with the left boot. 86 minutes, now we resume. As that was a bad pass by Bright, and now Inter Miami will fall back on it in their defense after the deflection. Near side touchline for Facundo Mora. Ayala going deep to the penalty arc to Berterame, and that one won by Philly. On it now is Bender. This is Bedoya. Bedoya trying to centralize it to Alado. Bender got his run wrong. As Yannick Bright now wins it at midfield, he gets it to Luis. Now Berterame trying to get a hold of it, and turnover. On it is Philly. Now won by Mikael. No one wants possession of the ball as this one finally rolls out of bounds. Silvetti knocked it off of Raffanello. And we're going to have a throw in for Inter Miami. Two subs coming on. Noah Allen and Davi Ruiz coming onto the pitch. Coming off, Ian Frey. And Yannick Bright. So Yannick Bright and Frey off. Ruiz and Allen on. '88th minute, throw in for Inter Miami, taken by the recently subbed on Allen. They'll switch their field to Facundo Mora on the far side touchline. Mora found Suárez, now back to Mora, and him and DePaul playing two-man two-ball in Inter Miami territory. And now they'll retreat back to Dane St. Clair. Press is on for Philly as St. Clair boots it deep. He's looking for Berterame, who was on a run, almost got there, but won by Philly. This is Bender. And a sliding tackle by Ayala. Ayala running his socks off, and he wins the free kick. Danley Jean-Jacques called for the foul. And in the 89th minute, Inter Miami's going to have a free kick. We're 1 minute away from extra time, presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. But can Inter Miami see this through and get all 3 points at home for the second fixture in a row? If Inter Miami is able to win, it'll be their 4th straight win. Their 4th straight win in the MLS. And a foul. Immediately resumed. That was on Suárez, and it's immediately resumed by Philly. Philly's got to go soon. They got to make a run at this if they want any points. As he recently subbed on Noah Allen with a nifty win of the ball. On it is Silvetti, and he gets closed down right before midfield. Bender in Inter Miami territory, Philly, and it breaks down right in between the penalty arc and the midfield circle. 8 minutes of extra time. 8 minutes of extra time, presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. Test drive the new Q3 e-tron at your local dealer. Folks, Audi is the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF football. Once again, Audi, the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF football. Inter Miami is tracked in all the way into Philly territory. Aishala looking for a pass in the box. Nobody home. And that one will roll out for a goal kick. Inter Miami up 5-4. Philly now on that far side touchline, trying to piece something together before they run out of time. This is Gainer Martinez. Now Harry. Defenders up with the attack at midfield. Far side touchline, Jean-Jacques. Jean-Jacques will retreat to Andre Blake. Blake right outside of his box. Probing out of their defense now, Philly. Inter Miami's got their attackers marking defenders, trying to slap on a press. Blake asking everybody what's going on is now Philly ramps it up. Far side touchline, sliding tackle. And rather a card on that sliding tackle. It's going to go against Davi Ruiz, who was recently subbed on. Sorry, folks, I was looking for a number. But Ruiz, who just came on 3 minutes ago. My OG on-site producer and lead spotter, Oscar Gonzalez, is calling weak. Weak sauce, as the kids used to say. 31 now. I don't know what anyone says anymore. But a free kick into the box. Header away by Mikael. Silvetti trying to track, and he wins it. He's got acres of space. Inter Miami with numbers. DePaul and Ruiz with Silvetti. He lays it up to Rodrigo. Rodrigo shot, goal! That is game. With the World Cup moments away, we're under 20 days. Rodrigo DePaul finding form in the 92nd minute, and he calls game. It was all started by Matteo Silvetti at midfield. Made a beautiful run, played on Rodrigo DePaul. And DePaul, from that near side touchline, veered in and went across Andre Blake's face. Goal for Rodrigo. DePaul heading into this match was the most creative player in the MLS. There is a stat for that. He has created the most opportunities in the MLS this season. I know Rodrigo has been plagued with turnovers and such this season, but he has been a fantastic player for Inter Miami. One of the better players under the hood for Inter Miami all year long. And he called game there. And then, folks, listen, that's the game. 2 goals, 95th minute. 3 more minutes to go of extra time. 94th minute. 4 more minutes of extra time. Now, I famously called game against Orlando when Inter Miami went 3-0 in the first half, but we had a whole half to play, so forgive me. I don't think I put the Maloik, as my Sicilian family would say, the Maloik on this game. I think it's over, my honest opinion. But Inter Miami's still work to do to see this one through. 94-25, 26, 6-4, Herons on top. 10 goals in the ballgame. I have 10 goals in a ballgame. I've called a ton of World Football matches in my life. I've never seen 10 goals. Got to be honest, folks. I've never seen 10 goals. A throw in on the near side touchline. Appreciate everybody here in the booth. Once again, my OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez. Paul Adams, our frequency coordinator. Silvetti now. Can Inter Miami pull another one back? This is Silvetti in the box. He puts the shot on and got it wrong. That'll be a goal kick. Well, once again, with all the thank yous on a great night. A historic night for Mike Rizzo, who's never called 10 goals in a match. OG, Santi Rodriguez, Paul Adams, Kate Chumson back at the City Place Studios, downtown West Palm Beach. Appreciate the lot of you. 95 and a half. 2.5 minutes left to play in the game. Inter Miami now completely fine, passing it around in their own half. St. Clair now to Mikael. Out of his box, here comes Mikael. Near side touchline, Noah Allen. And Allen goes to ground. No whistle now yet. Lines judge called that one. As that foul is going to go against the subbed on Alejandro Bedoya. 96 minutes, 6-4, Inter Miami on top. Suárez on a hat trick. Berterame on a brace. DePaul with a goal. That's your 6 for our Herons. Philly, a hat trick by Milan Iloski and a goal by Bruno Damiani. Is now, this is how they get back into the game. If you make bad turnovers like that, Noah Allen, I believe, is going to be awarded a yellow card, and he is. He stopped an opportunity, granted a good foul. He stopped Bedoya from possibly getting a dangerous pass into the box. No issues with that foul. 97th minute. We're in the 97th minute now. Standing over a dangerous free kick outside of the box is Milan Iloski with 1 more minute to play of extra time. Inter Miami up 6-4. Now Rosendo Mendoza blows his whistle and tells Rodrigo DePaul to back up. Now Iloski approaches, boots it, is going for goal, and that one goes over the crossbar. Honest effort by Iloski. But this, folks, I mean, I've played a lot of FIFA in my life, Ultimate Team, EAFC now, formerly FIFA. This is a FIFA score, man, 64. This is a FIFA score. And not in the early stages of the game. At the end of the game, when everyone's got the juiced up cards, when there's no defense played, and you got the icons on the field, you know, where you're getting icons in an 83 times 10 pack every other day. St. Clair now gets it back, and there's the whistle. Final score, 6-4. Our Inter Miami Herons see it through. Now, the story after the game is going to be Lionel Messi leaving the pitch and subbing himself off in the 70th minute. I'll see if I got any more information in the halftime show, in the post-game show. But Inter Miami winners 6-4. We'll play all the goal-scoring highlights coming up next on your Inter Miami Radio Network.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Michael Irvin, another promo just dropped on Hard Rock Bet. I got a profit boost this morning. Whoa, and a huge bonus bet just hit my account. Is the app on fire like this every week?
Only on days that end in Y. Like today, yesterday, all day, every day.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
If you love soccer, let Tri-Rail be your connection to Inter Miami CF games at Miami Freedom Park. Take the train to skip traffic and parking. Just an easy ride to the match. And the stadium is just steps away from Tri-Rail's Miami Airport Station. Plus, return service makes getting home simple after the final whistle. Weekend round-trip fares are just $5. Plan your ride at tri-rail.com, tri-rail.com.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Irv, you watching the game?
Watching? I'm all over these live bets on the Hard Rock Bet app right now. Brother, I'm in the game. That's a quick winner. Si se puede, si se puede, si se
Live
puede.
betting on Hard Rock Bet makes any game worth celebrating. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start live betting today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami postgame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
We had to do well on YouTube. Back to your post-game show on your Inter Miami Radio Network. Mike Rizzo here on site. A 6-4 win for our Inter Miami Herons. Lionel Messi exited the game in the 70th minute, folks. I apologize. You know, being on the call, it's hard. It's tough to try to get information, try to gather information on the situation. But from what myself, my OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, and Kate Jumson have scrapped up from reports, is that he grabbed his hamstring and asked to be subbed off in the 70th minute. I hope that everything is okay. I hope that we are able to see a fully healthy Lionel Messi coming up for the World Cup, but obviously a little alarming. I was speculating on the broadcast. Maybe there were reports that Messi wasn't going to go the full 90. Oscar's looking at the video right now to see if he was grabbing his hamstring. But folks, I guess listen, let the speculations happen as we are under 20 days from the World Cup happening, but wanted to get out in front of that right now. A couple reports out there, ESPN FC accounts and company, saying that he was grabbing his hamstring in the 70th minute. We are trying to clarify that. Let's actually, though, get into the highlights. What a game. 4-4, by the way, was the highest scoring halftime score in MLS history. 4-4 was the highest scoring half, in MLS history. Milan Iloski, by the way, Kate Chumson, our producer at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Appreciate him cutting all of our highlights, 10 of them to be exact. Here's Iloski with the first goal in the 4th minute. The club is on its way to one of the most horrific finishes in MLS history with only 7 points on the table at this point. But they are pitter-pattering around the box, shot at a goal. Oh, my goodness. All that talk, they hear it because Milan Iloski is in the back of the net in the 3rd minute. Iloski had a hat trick in the fixture, and he had this goal in the 10th minute from the penalty spot. Can St. Clair come up huge? Iloski approaches shot, goal! It's 2-0. Philadelphia flying in the first half. Herman Berterame would open up the scoring for Inter Miami in the 13th minute. Now Rodrigo to Paul. Nifty move. Rodrigo still on it. Plays Messi. Messi in the box. Pass it. Berterame. Goal! Herman Berterame pulling one back. Incredible pass by Lionel Messi. And Berterame in the 12th minute makes this 2-1. And then after that, Luis Suárez checking on in the 10 goals. I got Bruno Damiani, Cade Chumsland, in the 20th minute to make it 3-1. This is Sean Schach. Now back shot on Dean St. Clair. It's deflected and a goal. 3 goals for Philadelphia. Cleaning it up after the initial shot was Bruno Damiani. Damiani scoring in the 20th, making it 3-1. 9 minutes later, Luis Suárez 3-2. Leo, ball on a string, pass into Suárez, and wow, a sliding tackle. That was Harriel. Inter Miami still on it. In the box, shot, goal, Suárez off of the volley. Luis Suárez pulls another one back for Inter Miami. It's 3-2. Unbelievable play for Inter Miami. So 3-2. And then Luis Suárez, Cade, I'm losing track. I think this is Berterame in the 42nd. Reguilon crosses it in, trying to centralize the ball. Now won by DePaul. Looked like a handball, but it wasn't called. Now to Suárez. Suárez in the box. To Messi. Messi to Berterame. Goal! Herman Berterame out of brace in the 41st minute. Lionel Messi with his 2nd assist in the first half. So Messi, 2 assists in the half. The goal scoring wasn't over. Believe it or not, 2 more goals. Suárez in the 44th to make it 4-3. Try and give it immediately back to Messi. Leo's on it, and he goes to ground. No call, the ball, shot blocked. Back stick, cleaned up. Suárez! It's Luis Suárez! 7 goals! 7 goals! Suárez on a brace! Make it 8 with a penalty kick by Milan Iloski. Can St. Clair go huge? Dane has not saved a penalty yet this year. He wants to be Canada's starting keeper. Shot! Goal! Your halftime score, 4-4, and we are going to take a timeout. You'll hear the rest of the goals when we come back on your post-game show on your Inter Miami Radio Network. Herons winner 6-4.
Picture this. A curve in the road. A change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
If you love soccer, let Tri-Rail be your connection to Inter Miami CF games at Miami Freedom Park. Take the train to skip traffic and parking. Just an easy ride to the match. And the stadium is just steps away from Tri-Rail's Miami Airport Station. Plus, return service makes getting home simple after the final whistle. Weekend round-trip fares are just $5. Plan your ride at tri-rail.com, tri-rail.com.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients and South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey, Irv, you watching the game?
Watching? I'm all over these live bets on the Hard Rock Bet app right now. Brother, I'm in the game. That's a quick winner. Si se puede, si se puede, si se
Live
puede.
betting on Hard Rock Bet makes any game worth celebrating.
Si se.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start live betting today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami postgame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Final score is 6-4. Inter Miami winners over the Philadelphia Union. Folks, two more goal-scoring highlights, all by our Inter Miami Herons. We played you the 4-4 score. Now it's time to hear the Luis Suárez goal, Kate Jumsland, in the 81st minute. Here's Berterame. Silvetti. Pass back to Berterame. Berterame shot deflected. Bertie's still on it. Lays it up to Suárez. Goal! A hat trick for Luis Suárez. Picking it up in the 81st minute. Berterame, original shot. Deflected, stay on it, and laid it up to Suárez. Rodrigo DePaul in 90+ extra time. DePaul and Ruiz with Silvetti. He lays it up to Rodrigo. Rodrigo shot, goal! That is game. With the World Cup moments away, we're under 20 days. Rodrigo DePaul finding form in the 92nd minute, and he calls game. So 6-4, your final score. And folks, that'll do it on your Inter Miami post-game show. Whew! Wow. A record-breaking first half for Philadelphia and Inter Miami. 4-4. Most goals scored in a first half in MLS history. And Inter Miami able to win 6-4. The World Cup is next. And folks, the conversation now will be, is Lionel Messi going to be fully healthy? Once again, if you're just joining us, 6-4 Inter Miami winning. Messi with 2 assists in the game. Leo pulled himself out of the game in the 70th minute and apparently was grabbing his hamstring. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. I'll have Pink Smoke, our weekly Inter Miami show, coming up next week. I'll update you then. But once again, final score 6-4. We're not going to talk to you, beautiful people, for a month. Our next fixture is going to be almost 2 months. Our next fixture is going to be July 22nd. Everyone enjoy the World Cup. Listen, my favorite time in world football is the World Cup. I'm a diehard Inter Miami and Manchester United fan. But, man, do I love my United States men's national team, and do I love Italian football. The Italians sadly won't be there. That's a whole nother story if you got 3 hours. But regardless, enjoy the World Cup. We'll catch up with you guys July 22nd here at New Stadium against Chicago on your Inter Miami radio network.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way,